Now I'd like to demonstrate how to resize rows and columns. Your spreadsheet may be getting spread out or not aligned properly, so we want to be able to resize the column sizes and the row sizes. So from the right mouse click, we're going to click on column A, and you see that it's selected because it's highlighted with blue. It's all on the side. And then we're going to stay on top of the column A, and we're going to do a right mouse click, and we're going to go down here to where it says resize column. So it knows we want to resize that column, and it gives us two choices. We can either resize it as a number. Right now it's 87, so let's change that to 100. That should make it wider. So let me just type in 100 here, and we say OK, and you'll see that column A is a bit wider now. It's at 100. If we want to resize it fit to data, in other words, make it tight as possible, I'll highlight column A, right mouse click, and say resize column. And this time I'm going to click on fit to data, and that should pull the column tight together. So we're going to say OK. And you'll see now that it's made the column as narrow as possible while still filling in all the data. We can do one column at a time, but we can also do several columns. So I'm going to click on column B and drag my mouse across all the way to column M and highlight all the columns. That means I want to work, whenever you highlight something in the spreadsheet, that means you want to work with it. So right now I'm working with columns B to M. And now on those columns, I'm going to do a right mouse click and say resize columns B through M. And it says, do I want to, right now it's 50 wide. Do I want to make it wider? This time I'm going to make it say 100 just so we can see the difference here, and say OK. And it's spread out quite wide, but that's possibly too wide to fit on your spreadsheet. So now I'm going to hit right mouse click and say resize columns. And this time I want to resize it to fit the data. I want it as tight as possible together. So I'm going to click on resize fit the data, and you'll see now that it's scrunch the spreadsheet in as tight as possible while still accommodating all the data. We can also resize the row height. For example, if I want to make the income row higher, I can click on row 1, click on resize, and we can resize the row. Now it doesn't allow you to resize according to the data, but you can have the number 30 here. So if I want to make income column wider, let's make it 50, for example, and say OK, and that makes that column wider. I'm going to do the same with expenses. I'm going to click on row 6, right mouse click, and say resize the row, and I'm going to make it 50 again, I believe. So we'll try 50, and there we go. So we've resized the row height from using the auto fit or the fit to size of a specific number size. That allows you to reorganize your spreadsheet a little bit neater.